So what are some of the big themes? What, in all of these interviews that you've done, what were the biggest surprises to you?
Yeah, good question.
I know there's some common, sorry to cut you out. I know there's some common sales techniques too that we've talked about before too, that you're like, oh, turns out this is not really a quote unquote best practice, so feel free to take it where you will.
So the first, so good question. So the first surprise for me was, I thought going into this that buyers were going to say, the reason why I bought from this person is because their product was exceptional or their value proposition was incredibly strong, and they had the better offer compared to others. Turns out that wasn't the case, actually. Not necessarily. In fact, that was probably 3 or 4 down the list in terms of priority. The first one was, it wasn't just about trust, right? When we dug deeper into this, it was, can I place my reputation in the hands of this person or in this company? And that surprised me. But actually, when you reflect on it, it shouldn't really surprise us, because if you're in the buying process, if you're in a decision-making process, your reputation's on the line. No matter how senior you are, you're still on the hook from someone. And if you make a bad decision, you're going to be questioned as to why that happened. We've all heard around, if you buy HP or IBM, whatever it is, you're not going to get fired. That rings so powerfully true. And yet it's so underappreciated, because we think, well, if we come in with a better offer and better proposition, then of course they're going to choose us over someone like IBM, etc. Why wouldn't they? But turns out that's not true. The overriding reason why someone will buy something or not buy something is because of trust. And it's specifically, can I trust my reputation in this person's hands? The second thing that really surprised me was the value proposition. And I thought business value was going to be the overridingly important thing. Turns out that's not actually true. Actually, it's personal value. Now, there are various frameworks out there, Maslow's hierarchy. There's even Tony Robbins' 6 Human Needs, the one I personally use just because it's simple and it's been tested with tens of millions of people. But it turns out that if you align with those, when most people buy, they buy because it aligned with one of their overriding needs. And it aligned with something that was so important to them in terms of their values, and it was a personal value. And there's some research now that kind of shows the impact of personal value over business value. So that second one was really, really interesting for me. And I'll give you a very simple example. If you're talking to someone about how innovative your product is, but this person is all about certainty, it's all about stability, it's all about protecting their career or protecting the finances of the business, then it doesn't matter how innovative your product is or your solution is, they're just not going to be interested. No matter how great the proposition is, the ROI, the case studies, the social, whatever it is, it doesn't make a difference. Because it's dissonant to that, they're just not going to bother. And on the flip side, if you're talking to someone who's really ambitious, someone who really believes that having an innovative path forward is going to take this business to the next level and therefore take their career to the next level, and you're talking to them about stability and certainty, probably not going to be of interest for them.